This is SSPTV News, brought to you by Samsung Productions and the Hazelton Standard Speaker.
We get historical on this President's Day. Stay tuned for another interesting interview with the Vice President of the Greater Hazelton Area Historical Society and Museum, Charles McElwee. Hi everyone, I'm Ken Karen. I hope your week is off to a great start, and I want to thank you for watching today. On this President's Day, our in-depth news feature is about some of the presidents who have visited the area and an interesting phone call John F. Kennedy received during his stop. Here's Janine Lassant.
It is President's Day, and we thought we'd talk about some local history that pertains to our presidents of past. And we have Charles McElwee back with us. He is the Vice President of the Greater Hazelton Historical Society. And Charles, it's nice to see you again.
Great to see you, Janine.
So let's talk about it. How do the presidents tie into this area? We are a very historical area. I know we've had a lot of influence on the past presidencies and the elections. So tell me a little bit about history.
Right. It seems to be the case that there's a 6 degrees of Hazelton when it comes to a historical theme in this area. And that applies to presidential history too. So we all know the most notable example, which is John F. Kennedy visiting Hazelton just days before the election in 1960. And he targeted Hazelton for the fact that it was a crucial battleground in the sense of producing the bounty of votes he needed to win nationally. Lots of Catholic voters at that time. And at that point, they were voting Democrat. Decades later, we would come to see how many of those voters ultimately trended Trump long term. But back then it was for Kennedy. And it's funny, Kennedy at that point, that day when he visited in late October of 1960, he actually had to take a call to deal with the Nixon campaign because Nixon, it turned out, did not want to have another debate with Kennedy. And that was decided in Hazelton, I believe at Genetti's Hotel. And the debate, as campaign historians always note, that also played a role in Kennedy's victory in the sense that they had the famous first televised presidential debate. And when you watched it, Nixon did not look like he was ready for prime time. And therefore, that is considered, when it comes to campaign lore, a factor in how Kennedy won. But really, the reason was Catholic voters came out in droves and supported Kennedy. But then Nixon in 1968 came and visited Hazelton and campaigned again. Just weeks before the election, he was at St. Joseph's Gym, now Holy Family Academy. He met with the nuns there, and he did target Hazelton because lots of Hazeltonians at that point were already shifting toward the Republican Party because they viewed it as a champion of their working class interests.
Do you think we play such a role in the presidential election because of our proximity to Washington, D.C., or do you think it's just, coincidence? Because I know as a reporter, I've been able to meet Obama, Trump, Hillary Clinton. I mean, we've had so many, McCain came through. We've had, all of these presidential nominees come through, and we've been able to actually meet them.
That's a great point. I do think, at least when it comes to covering the campaign coverage, Hazelton does seem to be a destination because it is within close proximity to that New York and DC, those media markets. But you also have voters who are part of this realignment that's occurring not only in Pennsylvania but nationwide. In Luzerne County, you always had loyal Democrats, working class voters who were loyal to the Democratic Party, but today they no longer view the Democratic Party as a representation of their interests. It's really the Republican Party that is becoming the working class party. And in 2020, of course, we saw Joe Biden become president. And if anything, that was a COVID era rejection of Trump. And if not for the pandemic, it is quite likely that Trump may have won re-election.
and you learn that you respect the title of President of the United States, regardless if you voted for or against the winner. Exactly.
Absolutely. I mean, you have to respect the presidency in this polarizing period where obviously that just a profoundly divisive place as a nation. But this President's Day, it's somewhat solemn because we are in this pandemic. We are facing economic devastation. So it does give pause and it makes you think of the past.
Yep. And we always have to know that God bless America, land of the free, still of opportunity here on our President's Day. Always nice to see you, Charles, on SSPTV News.
Great.
Today's news feature is brought to you by Frankie's Pizzeria, now introducing Thick Tavern Pizza by the Slice, which is now available in Gold Supermarket. For more information, you can call 570-454-6000.
Time now for weather on SSPTV News.
Here's our forecast from the National Weather Service. There's a hazardous weather outlook with the possibility for a winter storm on Tuesday. Tuesday night, a chance of snow, mostly cloudy with a low in the teens. Wednesday is mostly cloudy with a high near 30 degrees. Wednesday night, there's a chance of snow, mostly cloudy with a low near 20. And then on Thursday, snow with a high in the 30s. It was a big weekend for local basketball. Let's get caught up on the SSPTV Standard Speaker scoreboard. Heading into the last week of the regular season in the Schuylkill League, the North Schuylkill girls beat Jim Thorpe in a Division I game. The Lady Spartans are now 10-1 in the league, and Jim Thorpe is 11-1. Sarah Wagner was the high scorer for North Schuylkill with 15 points. In a big Division III boys game, Nativity beat Marion to take a 2-game lead in the standings. Dante Augusti and Dewin Concepcion scored 15 for Marion. Concepcion also had 12 rebounds. The Hazelton area girls continue to lead Division I in the Wyoming Valley Conference. They beat Dallas this weekend. Julia Morocco paced the Lady Cougars with 15 points. She also had 7 rebounds and 5 steals. The Hazelton boys beat Wyoming Valley West by a point. Brett and Pollock scored 15 points for the Cougars. Still to come, we dive into a successful swimming season for the Hazelton Area High School boys and girls swimming teams. Next, how the Miss Greater Hazelton Scholarship Organization is helping deliver a happy Easter season to kids. And in the SSPTV Spotlight, a clip from the Sam LaSant Show with some businesses in Schuylkill County.
Good evening, everyone. Here's today's Talk of the Town. The Greater Hazelton Job Fair will be held on Thursday, March 25th from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. at the Laurel Mall. The Chamber is currently seeking businesses to participate in the job fair. If you are a business and you are interested, you can call the Chamber at 570-455-1509, or you can log on to hazeltonchamber.org. Registration is now open for Valley West Little League. Players can be registered every Saturday until February 13th from 1 to 3 p.m. and on every Wednesday until February 17th from 6 to 8 p.m. Registration is being held at the Whispering Willows Field Press Box. And SSPTV News would like to remind everyone to keep their furry friends inside where it's warm during this cold and frigid winter season. And that's today's Talk of the Town. SSPTV News would like to send sincere condolences to the family and friends of James M. Benarski of Hazelton, who passed away on February 7th. Services were previously held under the Joseph A. Moran Funeral Home. Today's social and obituary report is brought to you by Harmon Funeral Homes and Crematory. Call 570-788-0977 or go to harmonfuneral.com.